Welcome to my YouTube channel SM Snooker Championship League 2K23 Snooker.
Dave Gilbert to get us underway. Yeah, he won here 2 years ago.
Start the match.
He's a former shootout champion. He only really plays one way, doesn't he? He's very quick, of course, and very attractive to watch when he's in full flow. And in the first stage, he played superbly. He won all 3 of his matches. He only lost 1 frame, and that was to Victor Sarkis, who made a century. So really, Thepchaiya was one of the stars of the first stage. Dave Gilbert, 2 wins, 1 draw in his group. I was going to ask you actually, Stephen, is it hard playing quick players? We hear a lot about how difficult it is playing slow players, but when someone's as quick as this, you know, maybe do you get sort of forced into playing that way a little bit as well?
I think it can go that way, yeah. I think if you're a naturally fast player, or okay, you probably not as quick as Thepchaiya, but it can almost influence the rhythm of the game. I personally like that. You know, if I've played him a few times actually, and we've had some really good games, it sort of forces you to think quick and play the shots you see straight away. Yeah, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what maybe a slow player would say, if that really does affect them, or if that speeds them up in a way. It'd be interesting.
I mean, the one was, and he was a great player and a great character, Tony Drago. I mean, he was so quick, and I think he did frazzle a few opponents, just the sort of energy he created when he played. You know, you might miss, you're on your way back to your seat, you've turned round, he's played his shot. You don't even know what's happened.
Yeah, I think though the standards improved so much over the years that players are more than capable now of trying to control their own rhythm. It's easy to get off put by slow players, same as it is with really quick players. Just try and focus on your own game, and that's exactly what this man David Gilbert will be trying. He's not a slow player himself, he likes to get on with things, he's a fluent, lovely cueist.
3.
Of course, Shaun Murphy registering a win already has almost given them no option but to really go for the victory themselves. Shaun already got the 3 points. Of course, everyone wants to win, but now these 2 guys will be feeling they have to win to sort of stay with Shaun.
Yeah, and Gilbert will play Murphy last on tonight, but obviously still wants to be in a position then to have a chance to win this group. He seemed in good fettle when we spoke to him after his group. It was not an enjoyable season last season. He got a bit down on himself at times.
Nine.
But of course he's had a break since the World Championship, and he, as I say, he spoke well and he looked good in that previous group.
So. $50. 60.
Starting the season 21st in the rankings, so he's just outside the top 16, but it's more about the points really. He's several thousand points behind 16, so he would need a deep run, but of course 33,000 in this, that would get him close to that elite group again.
22. 23. 28.
Just played into the reds, assuming he would be on at least 1.
You're right there in what you say about Dave's season last year. It was a very disappointing campaign for someone of Dave's ability. Just the one quarter-finals in the Northern Irish Open, losing 5-4 to the man over on table 2, Zhou Yulong, who's 50 points down in this match. He's had to fight back nicely, and it looks like he's going to have done enough to secure a 2-all draw. Points are going to be shared over on table 2.
Yeah, that could be another close group, couldn't it? Zhao Guodong and Ben Wollaston coming up. Yeah, I mean, Gilbert, I mentioned this because he raised it himself in the interview. There was a match last season, a qualifier. He may even have been here, but anyway, it was one of the qualifiers where he conceded 2 frames early. It was a best in 9. I think Andy Hicks was on 3 and he conceded. So that told you, obviously, his mental state wasn't great at that point. But he did mention that himself, and he said, that's one thing I'll try not to do this season.
Just underlines how tough the tour is and how mentally challenging it can be at times for a player of Dave's class and ability. When things aren't quite going your way, it's incredibly frustrating. You know, you practice hard, you put the time in, it doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes it just doesn't click on the day and you just want to get out of there. Hopefully Dave has put things to right in the off-season, enjoyed some time away perhaps, and will have a more refreshed outlook.
Well, he wasn't ideal on that red, was he? And he's overcut it, so a promising opening has ended with plenty still on here.
Well, that was a surprising miss. He's got a nice white though. He's second prize from that one, although this may be a big pocket for Dave Gilbert. Well, he didn't need the other red, it's gone straight in.
Just on what we were saying about the conceding at the frame, of course, what has changed is there's now help offered to players who might be struggling through the WPBSA. And obviously that's private whether he sort that out or not, but it is there because it is such an individual sport, and can, certainly if you're on a bad run, get on top of you. We've seen that from other players. Of course, Mark Selby spoke about it in the last year.
Gilbert.
Well, we don't often see him refuse many, and he may be forced into going for a red here. The red over the right corner. There is a little bit of coverage by the green, but he's got to be pretty accurate. It's one of them where it may be worthwhile having a go at something. Safety shot just as difficult. Oh, what a pot. That is a fantastic long red from Thepchaiya Un-Nooh, and he deserves the cannon. He plays such carefree snooker, it's so refreshing to watch. That's why everyone loves watching this guy. He just gets down without a care in the world. He accepts the... He's going to miss sometimes and he's going to leave his opponent bang in, but when he's on form and he's sighting the ball like that, it's so good to watch.
Well, he's 38 years of age. He looks at least 10 years younger, doesn't he? You know, it's obviously good for you playing like this. problem is, though,
16.
it can be erratic. I mean, he got in the top 16, and then not long after, about a year later, he went to the World Qualifiers, needing to win a match to stay on tour. So it just shows you his form sort of fell off a cliff. He had the shootout
17.
points coming off as well, which didn't help, but I suppose it's whether he can find consistency.
Yeah, and that word consistency is something that's probably haunted him for his whole career. We know that
20.
he can play like a world beater on his day, and he looks as good as anyone. But then, at the same toss of a coin, he can play as bad as anyone. He can just throw the odd miss in
24.
and really sort of let himself down, and that's what's held him back for a number of years. As you say, he was in the 16, and then next season he was nearly off the tour. It's quite incredible to think of.
$26. 27.
When he won the shootout in 2019, for him, it just felt like a normal tournament. The shot clock didn't seem to really come into it. He made a wonderful 139 in the semi-finals. That was, as I say, for him, just a normal break. I think that was against your mate, Jamie Clark, wasn't it? You just had to stand there, Jamie, and there's no seats, literally. You just had to stand there and watch it.
Yeah, it's a tough place to be against someone like this in that format. I think he finished that frame with a few minutes to spare. He's that quick. It's so good to
30.
watch, as we say, and this is a good chance now. He's only 12 points behind. There's nothing safe. Just needs to mind his work here. It's an important opening frame, this. Dave Gilbert in with the first chance.
34.
This will be a bit of an early body blow for him. Looking to get the green back on its spot after this red, which is a good idea. Getting the green back up there makes the clearance a whole lot easier.
$42. 45.
So, yellow, green, brown and blue needed.
47.
Gilbert seemed to have played a pretty decent safety, but he maybe wasn't that surprised that Thepchaiya knocked the long red in. He's always trying to win frames, he's always trying to get in and make something happen. It doesn't always work, hence the inconsistency, but when it does, he's a joy to watch. Unless you're sat where Dave Gilbert is, of course.
54.
Yeah, the red Dave's almost left him. He's almost willing him to go for it. It's one of them shots that wins you a frame if they miss it, but it's going to lose him the frame if it goes in,
59.
and it did do, and it has lost him the frame.
65.
So Thepchaiya Un-Nooh has put together a sublime break there.
72
Lovely
on the
clearance of
first
72 from the
Thepchaiya
tie.
Un-Nooh.
He leads Dave Gilbert 1-0.
Frame 3, start.
And all of a sudden, Shaun Murphy is Thepchaiya's biggest fan. He would love to see a draw in this game, having won his opening match, but Dave Gilbert will definitely have something to say about that now. He's looking very good. That was a nice clearance in the last frame. A couple of mistakes, but he put that out of his mind and got the job done. Well, another attempt at a long red from Thepchaiya, not threatening the pocket. Worrying signs for him, usually so reliable over that sort of distance. And to make things worse, he's left a tempter for Dave up into the yellow bag. He can play this as a shot to something really. Try and get the cue ball up for blue or pink. Probably only will leave the red that he's going for if he misses it.
Thepchaiya just hasn't looked the same player, has he, since he failed to kill off the second frame. Keeps handing openings to Gilbert.
Yeah, and it just shows you snooker players are very good at hiding their emotions. Poker face out there, but you can quite clearly see that that second frame has affected Thepchaiya. He looked and quite the opposite for Dave Gilbert, trying to add insult to injury and just keep his foot down on Thepchaiya at the moment. He knows he's capable of stringing off a quick break should he get the chance. He's trying to do everything within his powers to prevent that from happening.
Touching ball.
No touching ball declared this time, which makes Dave's shot a little bit more difficult. He can't get over in behind green or brown, so he's going to be leaving at least a relatively straightforward return safety shot for Thepchaiya Un-Nooh.
It is possible to win a group if you lose a match, but it's unusual and unlikely with the quality in this group. So it feels like the pressure's really on Thepchaiya, not Un-Nooh. Of course, he stays on to play Murphy in the next one.
And that's trouble for Dave Gilbert. Clearly the left side of any of the reds cut off for him. Can only really get to a few. Tough to play a dump shot from there as well, just to contain the situation, so might maybe come in side cushion, just trying to catch the underside of this red. Needs to get this one right. Well, he's had a couple of looks at this red to left middle. It must be very, very tight. He missed a similar one in an earlier frame. Got very close to the pot then. Well, he's got even closer this time. That was a great pot. Played it with an element of safety as he wasn't entirely sure. But he's gained the initiative back here. Yellow is available to the middle for him. May have a slight angle to get down the table as well. Big shot. Well, he's landed in no man's land there. Could have done with either the cue ball pulling up 6 inches before or travelling on 6 inches. Another red to middle.
You know he's not going to turn them down, but it wasn't easy. Nothing's coming easy right now.
I think Dave's just said he's scared to hit the ball because of the cushions, and he's underhit that safety, perhaps anticipated he was going to have a bit of a bigger bounce off that. As it turns out, it's not the end of the world because he's cut off the left side for Thepchaiya. He's got to catch this one very thin. Yeah, he's played that well. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it's nasty this.
Big chance of a steal over on table 2. Ben Wollaston, Zhao Guidong. He's got himself nicely back into the frame from 60 points down. Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. Got all of table 2's action today as Thepchaiya again attempts another long red. They're just not going in for him at the moment. And as they keep failing to reach their target, his confidence is diminishing.
One.
Just seems everything in this match has got progressively more difficult. Pink still needs potting. Yeah, it just feels like, as I say, at the moment everything's tough. I mean, it could have been an easier pot. I just feel earlier on in the match he might have got it.
Yeah, he's not left anything easy for Thepchaiya either. He's got a really delicate little red to middle here. He's leaving everything if he misses this. Well, that's a nice pot. Nicely played, and he's held nicely for the black. It's difficult to say this is a good chance because they've both missed good chances. Anything's missable. It feels like a decider, this frame. Just needs to mind his business here, Thepchaiya, for the first few shots. Try and get himself back into prime position. Get a few shots under your belt. Get to that 20-30 points mark and he'll feel a lot better about it. Try and just find his cue action again. Just loosen up a touch.
$60. $17. $23. $24.
Well, this is starting to look promising. I think he just needed to just pot a few, settle some of that nervous energy. As he battles for a draw, could easily have been a win, but the main thing is leave with a point.
30.
And he's still very much in contention. Of course, we're only in match 2 of 6 today. But I think the player who might be happiest with a draw is Shaun Murphy, who of course has got 3 points. He plays the next match. He could really take a step towards winning this group if he can beat Thepchaiya next.
39.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Thepchaiya fares in the next game, because at one point it looked like he may have thrown this one away. There's been highs and lows in this match, but I'm sure
47.
he would take a draw now, considering how things have gone, and it will give him a little bit of a boost going into that game with Shaun. And of course, if he can get a result, it would throw things wide open.
54.
Well, he's come good, it would
55.
seem, just at the right time at the end of this match. Make sure, though, because of course he's lost a frame after Gilbert needed a snooker already, frame 2. So that black puts him 63 ahead. This red to make absolutely sure, you would think. And it's going to be 2-2, a point apiece. And this may be a good time to make a high break as well, just in case that comes into it later.
63.
But hasn't he made these quickly? I mean, for him actually, he's taken a bit of time. He's been looking at his shots, but he's still very quick.
Yeah, the first couple of balls were so important for Thepchaiya that it just needed working out the little
69.
puzzle that he was in. Yes, there was all there, but he had to keep close control of his cue ball. A couple of little testing pots as well, but he's done well enough here. This has been a nice break considering.
70.
Made 2 centuries in the first stage. 22 last season, 168 in his career. He's made 4 maximums.
$77.
Well, he's just missed the red. Table
80.
pink and black. Zhao Guodong and Ben Wollaston.
Thepchaiya
Thepchaiya's break ends at 84.
84.
It had been any score in the end, but it is a draw.
Thank you, Thepchaiya.
So points shared here, 2-2. 5 minutes time, we'll see